Hello and welcome back to the Weirdly Obsessed podcast with your hosts, Mandy Martino, Lisa Wallen, and our new producer from the Second Floor Studios, Mike.
Hey, everybody.
We're so happy to be here. We are now, huge step for our podcast, doing our podcast here. You may see the difference.
Yes, we are in a new studio. We're going to have some new changes coming up in our podcast that we're very excited about now that we have a producer and that we have somebody to help us, kind of formulate our episodes a little bit more. And because of that, today we just talk about celebrity beef because everyone's obsessed with it. And this year alone, we have so much going on, and hopefully it'll still be relevant in a couple weeks when this episode comes out. So I hope you enjoy.
Make sure to like and subscribe, share with a friend, check out our Patreon. Thank you for our current Patreon members, and enjoy the episode.
We have new studio vibes. Look at us.
Oh my gosh. You guys may notice things are looking a little different.
Yeah, Mandy redid her whole apartment just for us.
I'm an angel now. Yeah. I only wear white.
We don't need headphones anymore. It's crazy. No, it's beautiful. We should probably just address that real quick anyways because obviously everything looks different today. Mandy and I have no money, and we have no money and no time, and so we have a new studio set up. We have a new producer that is being very generous and letting us use the studio and helping us out, and so we have really high hopes for this podcast, and now we have more time to clip stuff, post stuff on YouTube, hopefully get a sponsorship
right here. Get our sponsorship.
So far our sponsorship is a glued piece of wood, which
we're draw no attention to this, and now we're
so far this is where we're at sponsorship. We have a glued piece of wood to this backdrop, and
we love wood.
And eventually we'll get a sparkling water maybe. Or maybe a piece of candy, something to give us money. That's where we're at right now. So shall we cheers to our future sponsors, Fiji Water?
Yes, Fiji, just a small brand.
This is our, the whole country of Fiji.
They love obsessions.
It's called manifesting. Are you a big manifester?
I am a big manifester, but I'm not good at it, so I'm always obsessing over manifesting. Listening to The Secret.
Oh my God, that's our next episode. Obsessions over manifesting. Just kidding.
Wait, though, before we start, Mike, do you want to introduce yourself as a voice?
Oh God, look at this pressure. Right on the spot. I'm Mike.
So when you hear a voice, it's Mike.
Mike is our voice. He is now our weirdly obsessed person.
You are
our permanent guest. Actually,
I'm the Oz of Mandy's apartment. I wanted to keep up that lie and not pretend this was my studio.
Yeah,
we ruined it.
Mike has manifested. Mike is the ghost that you manifest in your apartment to help us with this podcast.
I didn't tell Mike about this though, but literally 2 weeks ago when Lisa was leaving, I said, man, I can't wait till the day we can do this at Mike's studio. Those words came out of my mouth. I manifested you.
He manifested you. Okay, yes. Before I change the topic, I should get into it. Yes, we've both done Chappelle Lacey's podcast, which is also filmed in the studio setting, and we both did, and we're like, oh my God, this is so beautiful.
Second Floor Studios for the plug.
I was going to say, Second Floor Studios, if you are in LA and need a podcast produced, this is the place.
Yeah. Beautiful studios, wonderful producer.
Tons of rooms.
Also, every person that's dope films in the studio. If you don't, you're not dope. That's
you're not
all.
Dope.
Now we're officially dope.
I feel dope.
I feel dope. It's the name of our episode. I feel dope.
I feel dope.
But besides all that, let's get into it, shall we?
Yes, we shall.
I know. Also, I do want to say the manifesting thing I've been on lately, which is so funny because it happened going home to Seattle because I love Seattle. Seattle to me is I appreciate so much more than out there. It's so beautiful. It's just so calming. It's not like LA where it's just traffic and loud
and homeless people.
Yeah, but we do have sunshine, so and
the weather's great.
And a palm tree every once in a while. You'll see one. You'll be like, oh yeah, paradise. But no, I was like, because I'm like in this whole like trying to find a job, trying to find sponsorships, whatever, management, it's like if I keep just like talking about how much I need it, it's not going to happen. I think what I need to do is just change my mindset to be like, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Right. And I do truly believe that does in some aspects things like that happen. Like obviously I'm not going to be like, hey, if I think about getting a big butt, I'm going to get a big butt. No, I have to work for that. But in some aspects I do think like manifesting and having like a positive attitude for something, like a feng shui of something, it can lead to good things.
No, you definitely need everyone like that's successful that has given me advice so that they were confident, they believed in themselves, and they manifested it.
Yeah, it's like an anime. That's how Naruto became the Hokage.
Exactly.
Wow.
What
Really,
I was gonna say.
another Naruto reference on another episode. But yes, I want to know like how have you been? Because now that we don't see each other for 2 weeks, wait, actually. We did see each other, and it was very odd. We ran into each other in public at the Don't Tell.
Yeah.
It was a Don't Tell comedy party.
Yep.
Which you were personally invited to. I wasn't. So I'm not cool, guys. I was invited because someone needed a ride. That's why I showed up.
That's why you need a car in LA.
Yeah. See, everyone said another advice I've gotten big from comedians: have a car and have a lighter.
Oh, I need to start bringing a lighter.
Start bringing lighters to shows because of some big comedian gonna come out and be like, I need to smoke my cigarette because I hate my life. I'm like, I got you, boy. Also, do you need a feature sometime? There you go. Boom.
Done.
There's a job.
I always keep bubble gum.
Oh, bubblegum mints?
Yeah.
Chapsticks?
Yeah. I don't share my chapsticks.
No. Smooches? I don't know.
It's funny.
Condoms? I don't know.
But the Don't Tell party was sick. That was so much fun.
It was overwhelming because, like, I mean, I'm sure you've been to them before, right? Like, I don't know how
I've been to Don't Tells, but this was, I think, their first, like, big party.
Yeah. It's weird when you go to a social setting and you know, like, almost everyone.
Mm-hmm.
It's so, like, okay, I talked to you for 5 minutes. I have to go transition to this person now, but I still really like you. And that's so overwhelming to me. So it was really fun, but it was just, like, I had like 10 people being like, can I have sunscreen? Because I was the only person who brought I was very popular that day. Everyone kept asking me for sunscreen. I was like, I got you. Now, there you go.
That was your lighter.
That's my light. That was my lighter. All these red, white comedians dying. I literally walked up to like 2 comedians like, do you need any SPF? Like, no, I'm fine. I'm like,
they're going to burn the... Yeah. They regretted that
We're
later.
UV index 9, guys. Google it. That's what LA is during the afternoon most days. But last night was the same thing because I went to the Comedy Store for the Netflix is a Joke party. Or Netflix is a Joke Fest, and it was the same thing where it's like, so many people and everyone's just like together and like breathing in your space and smoking cigarettes, and it was like, I need to leave, but it's been like you have to Irish goodbye.
Yeah. Every time I go to the Comedy Store, I Irish goodbye.
Yeah.
I just put my head down and sprint out. Otherwise, it'll take you an hour just to leave.
Yeah, and then someone will be like, hey, I'm like, bye.
It's so weird being at a place where you know everyone because you feel like you have to like say hi to so many people, but you have to like try to like, it's like just say hi and then keep walking. Like it takes like, what is the word I'm trying to say? It's a skill to say hi and to keep walking without the awkward conversation.
I have become so good at that because of Twitch streaming, because like I love when people from Twitch come out to my shows, but so many of them are like awkward, like antisocial people. I shouldn't say that. Socially inept. Way nicer way of putting it. No, it's just like they come out to support me, and I can tell like they don't really know what to say to me. They don't know when to approach. Like some people can read the room. Like when you see your friends perform and everyone's like around them and you want to get your turn in, I'll be like, it's fine.
Yeah.
I'll see them later. Some people don't get that. So I've gotten really good at like being like, okay, well, hey, yeah, it was nice to meet you. I'm gonna go. Yeah. Like sometimes they just have to be direct with people, and it's really hard. But the Netflix is a Joke Fest is an interesting time.
Yes, this is the first year that it's been overwhelming. Mm-hmm. Last year was just normal, and they really set their tone right away. So if you were a part of Netflix as a Joke, you had to post. It was like the black square.
Yeah,
they tried pulling some black square shit. They did the Netflix square.
Yeah, it was like, it gives me, okay, I'm jealous. So obviously this is coming from a place of envy. But
what do you mean? I don't care that everyone flew to LA and got tons of shows and I didn't get one.
And my name was on a giant poster that says Netflix. Not at all.
I don't care.
I mean, I do know there's a lot of, like, unless you were invited by a big comedian, you have to have some sort of representation to be in it.
Yeah.
But the way it's being advertised kind of gives me the ick a
Wait,
little.
the square thing really quick though. You had to post the Netflix square the same time, same day, same time. So, and it was on Valentine's Day. So everyone's feed on Valentine's Day that's already depressed saw this square. So that's when it started off. Like, we're going to ruin people's lives.
Yeah. It was
either make their lives or ruin their lives.
And if you didn't post on time, were you banned from Netflix? Do they take away your subscription service? What do they do? Sorry, it was 5 minutes late. Cool. You're canceled. Like,
I don't know.
It's just the thing where it's like, they're branding the shit out of it, because it's like, one thing I've always hated about how comedy has transitioned over time is that I remember like 5 years ago when it's like, Lisa, when are you going to release your comedy special? It has very much turned into, Lisa, when are you going to release your Netflix special?
Oh, damn.
And I fucking hate that so much. It pisses me off. It's like when people are like, you're on a date with someone, they go, tell me a joke. And I'm like, fuck you. Like, that's my joke.
I think though, saying Netflix special would be a compliment.
It's not.
Because like, it's not like just throwing it on, like, you're on Amazon Prime and paying for it. If you get a Netflix special, that's the top one these days.
I feel like that's not a good look though. I feel like having, because like there's so many talented comedians who have HBO specials and Hulu and all that. It's like Netflix is like, I'm putting my name on stand-up comedy. You must follow this thing. And obviously to get a Netflix special, there's so many more hoops you have to go through versus like producing a special and trying to sell it to a service or having Max do it. I just it's like one of those things where it's like, can you just say comedy special? Because Netflix special is it's not attainable to me anytime soon.
You never know.
We're
manifesting.
It's actually called Netflix festing now. Okay. we have to change the language a bit. It's so funny.
No, I wasn't part of Netflix is a Joke Festival, but I will have
that is not being aired on
special.
Netflix. They're just putting their name, they're just pasting their name on it, honestly.
Yeah. But we did want to talk about, we watched the Matt Rife, that starts it off, the Matt Rife's roast, which was one of the first roasts that they've had for a while.
Yeah, or you mean Tom Brady?
What did I say?
You said Matt Rife.
Shit. Edit. So that would be a good one, though.
You know what would be a great idea for Matt Rife's roast is if he had the audience members come up on stage and roast him.
Oh my God.
Hey, the people who make you money, you should have them roast you. There you go.
The reverse crowd work special.
Yeah.
The reverse crowd work.
People would like that.
That's a genius idea.
That is a good idea.
If Matt Rife is listening to this, A, I'm sorry, but B, you should do that and credit us for that.
But then it would just be like Tom Brady's roast when all of the football players roasted him. I was like, can we stop? Can we just let the professionals do this?
Yeah.
Maybe have 2 football players go. Like Bill Belichick was great. And then let's just have the comedians, because it was so. I loved it. I missed watching the roast. But it was long.
I have so much more respect for roast writers than I ever had when I had to start writing things for other people. I had to do the Crunchyroll Anime Awards.
Whoa.
2020. That's my Tom Brady roast. And I got paid to rewrite the script to add zingers in it and like anime-based jokes. And I was so excited because I like watched all the seasonals. I put in like little fun things like so-and-so should have won Best Girl, and it wasn't a girl. It was like a fucking girl bossing boy or whatever. And like I wrote all these jokes in my head. I'm like, oh, these are fucking banging. And then all the guests that were on it, you know, we're basically the anime version of football players. They're entertainers. They're good on camera. They can read teleprompters, but they're not funny. So like I'd have like these big YouTubers and whatnot read my jokes, and I was like, oh my God, you're bombing. Or like they would not read it in the tone of yourself. So like when I think about people who write roast jokes and like, one of these non-comedians are able to say it correctly and get the punchline and the tone that's meant, I'm like, so much more respect, because they have to write for those people. It's like, oh yeah, Kim Kardashian's not a joke writer, so obviously someone's gonna write her roast jokes or try to like zing up the things that she wanted to say. And I'm like, I have so much respect for people who can write for other people.
Did you see when Gronkowski went off of script? Dude was wasted because he was at the end. I haven't had the ick like that since freaking Travis Kelce at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that was I only watch a few of the football ones because I just can't watch people who aren't comedians tell comedy jokes.
It hurts.
It's really hard unless it's like an actor, because like they're really good. But it's like if you're just like a face with a lot of money, it really tells you the difference between who is a professional at this and who isn't. But like you could tell a lot of this stuff is very personal, and that's what I like. I'm like, give me the fucking drama. Give me the juice.
Then he breaks the shot glass, and then the people in the front row were like standing up. He just threw glass.
There was so much coke at that show. That's all I gotta say. Also, somebody mentioned that somebody had like a bag of cocaine. It was like shown on camera for a second, and they had to edit it out because they were like a little bit ahead of time, but a lot of people saw it and it was a real bag of coke.
Was it like, on stage or the audience?
I believe it was on stage.
Oh my God.
I do love roast though. I love watching like people. I can't roast because I'm like, I love you. My roast is that I just compliment you too much and you get creeped out. And you're like, I never want to be on stage with her again. Lisa just talked about how cute I am. And she loves my lips, and I don't like it.
I can't roast me either. She keeps giving me her lighter, and I don't even smoke.
But you know what? The roast is a good transition.
Yeah, it is.
And today, you know what's so fucking funny? We did not once say the name of this podcast.
No, because we do that in the intro.
No, we didn't say the Weirdly Obsessed podcast. God damn it. See what happens when you record in an environment? We're just so excited. So look how much brighter we are now.
I know.
Yeah, we don't have, even though I love your apartment, actually, I shouldn't say anything mean. But
she's allergic to light. If you don't know if you know that.
Oh, yeah, I'm allergic to harsh light, which is so ironic when you stream and you have a light next to you. Yeah, people on my stream make fun of me for being all sniffly and boogery because I used to have really, really harsh lights on my stream, and now I have like one of those Elgato ones where you can like manually adjust it and stuff. But like, yeah, I can't do bright lights. I'm like halfway through everything. I'm just allergic to sunshine. I'm allergic to anything bright. That's why I'm emo. Okay. But
this is the Weirdly Obsessed podcast.
There we go. Now that we did the intro about 15 minutes into today's episode, we can finally get to this episode's topic today, which is celebrity beef. Now, we already did. We did
celebrity obsessions.
I mean, it's like a series. It's kind of like the beauty trends thing. It's like, because celebrity obsessions, it goes everywhere. Like, we were going to do celebrity drama. I'm like, what kind of drama?
Yeah, but like right now, there's so much beef going on.
There's a lot of beef.
So we figured, get your steak knife out.
There's a lot of beef. We're about to butcher it.
I've never heard you do a country accent, and it looks so wrong.
We're about to butcher it. Yeah. Listen, I go to Dallas in like 2 weeks. Okay, so
she's ready. Get your cowboy hat.
I gotta get it. Well, it's one of those things where it's like the whole point of this podcast is you find out why people are obsessed with certain things, and like, and most of it has to do with like OCD. Because so much of the stuff, it has to do with like how our brains work and how we feel about our skin. But like things that are more like media based and cultural are so fascinating to me, because like people who are obsessed with celebrity beef is different than being obsessed with celebrities. I feel like if you're obsessed with like skincare, you're also gonna be obsessed with exercising and like your diet and like everything goes around with it. But like me, I don't give a fuck about any celebrities, but I live for celebrity beef. I don't even give a shit about these celebrities. I just want to see people fight. Like, I don't, like, why do you think people are obsessed with celebrity beef?
Think about the Inquirer. I remember like back in the day, and my mom would get the Inquirer. Like, that is a magazine with just fake celebrity beef. that has been around for centuries and people love it. So much so that like now regular celebrity magazines have become pretty much the Enquirer. Back then, I feel like if you got like the US magazine, it would be like, I thought back then it was more truthful things. But now like the front pages are all lies. Like Taylor Swift's engagement ring. I thought she was engaged. Why would that be on the cover if she wasn't?
Yeah.
And she wasn't.
Yeah. And it's always like people just want to see who's going to win. I think we're naturally, honestly, for me, it's. I think right now, we'll get into the section, but I think right now with internet culture, the memes is the big thing.
Oh.
Like I remember growing up, the Enquirer was a big one, but also like I just liked, because I didn't have, this is more personal, I didn't have a lot of girlfriends growing up. I didn't really get any until after high school, so I always craved having girl drama.
Aww.
And so I know, but I didn't have any, so I'd like read about like celebrity drama, and I used to watch Celebrity Deathmatch. It was like all sorts of things, and I think it's because we humans are naturally competitive, and when we don't have a competition, we have to see it somewhere else. And since I didn't give a shit about sports, I didn't give a shit about having any, I didn't have any girlfriends or anything, I had to like watch celebrities fight with each other. Like that was my big beef.
Do you remember when you were a kid, what was the first beef you remember?
Oh my God, Eminem, Slim Shady. Like what? I just remember like MTV, TRL, like.
Yes, I love TRL. I'd ride my bike home from school just so like rush home to watch TRL. I was obsessed.
Yeah, and like Eminem doing all those things, like making fun of Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears, Limp Bizkit. He just like shits on everyone. I was like, oh my God, this is so spicy.
Did you think he was hot at all, or just like his
No, I just thought he was
tune?
obnoxious. But it's so funny because now we're gonna get into it. You know, there's the Kendrick and Lamar stuff. There's Taylor Swift and all her stuff, and everyone's like, it's not healthy how many people can just go on the internet and see all this happening and like be involved with it and get personal with these celebrities and have these weird parasocial relationships. I'm like, it was bad. It was worse in a different way in the 90s, because people would just like make music videos of them killing people, or they would just have like the celebrity death match. Like, oh, we'll just take these characters of celebrities literally murdering each other.
Beating each other
That's
up.
totally mentally
But
healthy.
they're clay. It's cute.
Yeah, right. And National Enquirer, like we didn't have the internet back then, so like the things you'd see on like People Magazine, National Enquirer, we didn't have people fact checking things and like digging for like, is this real? A lot of people would just assume things were real, or a lot of people would be like, oh my God, wasn't she like a terrible person? Like Britney Spears, you know, coming out with her memoir and stuff, and be like, oh my God, we were so mean to you back then. Or like childhood celebrities too. It was
God,
like,
yeah.
But yeah, and so now we live in a time where it's like, yeah, here's the thing, the world's on fire, right? there's horrible things, atrocities going on in the world right now. There's like, I hate when people are like, why are you so focused on this when this thing's going on? Like, because I need this thing to feel better about. I need to watch these people fight. Yeah, because I'm not fighting with anyone.
I need to do whatever will make me feel better.
Do you like before we get into celebrity drama, before like I got rid of Facebook, we had a Northwest comedians comic group for like open mic shows, but really just turned into people like fighting with each other.
So not Northwest as in Kanye West's daughter?
No, Northwest as in I'm from the Pacific Northwest.
Okay, just to clear that up, because the big beef guy is Kanye West, and you know
they had a Pacific Northwest comedians group where you can like, you know, post your open mic shows if you need a spot, blah, blah, and just turn into people fighting. And to this day, when I see on Instagram be like, one day without Northwest beef, blah, blah, I reactivate my Facebook. I go right in there and I just want to read who is fighting with who. It's, I live for drama. What about you? Like, what drama do you remember growing up?
See, I don't remember much. Like, I was busy playing soccer and lacrosse, and in Florida, you're just outside all the time. But I was obsessed with the magazines. I had, which is weird, like I had the, was it a J14?
Oh my God.
Do you remember that? There's that one, and then there was Pop, which is weird as like a young kid, you're already learning about celebrity obsessions and drama. Like,
and body dysmorphia.
Believe me,
yeah, right?
But like as a kid, you shouldn't be reading a magazine that's showing like celebrities' problems and like celebrity kids. Like, it's just training you to grow up that way.
To be petty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
I actually just found out, oh my God, I found this out from doing Chappelle's podcast. We were talking about music that we grew up on, and I sang on the podcast 70 times 7 by Brand New. And Chappelle asked me what the song was about, and I was like, oh, it was about him feuding with his best friend. I had no idea his best friend at the time was a singer from Taking Back Sunday.
What?
And I was like, how did I not know this? Because there's a song on Taking Back Sunday's album called There's No I in Team.
Yeah, I know that one.
Yeah. That in the part that he's screaming, he's saying the lyrics from 70 times 7. And in my head, I always thought that it was just like a fun reference because both songs were really popular at the time. No, they were feuding with each other.
Wait, an emo feud?
There was an emo feud.
There was an emo feud?
There was an emo feud. And now I'm hearing about it all over Twitter because everyone's like, oh, you want to talk about Kendrick and Drake? You didn't grow up where I did. And so TVS versus Brand New. And I like totally deep dived in it. It turns out Jesse Lacey from Brand New slept with like the bass player or the guitar player from Taking Back Sunday's girlfriend and broke up with them. Jesse Lacey's just like known to be like not a good dude, and so they've had an ongoing feud since, and it started with those songs. And I was like,
damn,
this is why the internet's so important, because when this came out in 2001, I wasn't going on AOL Googling the lyrics. I was just fucking singing it and never thought about it until now. And now I know when he says you see more spine and jellyfish, he's talking about Taking Back Sunday.
Holy shit. I love that song. I never knew.
Full circle.
Damn.
There we go.
It's funny because when you think of feuds, you don't think of like emo bands or anything. It's usually just rappers.
Yeah, emo bands are just crying at each other.
Yeah,
like,
they're not. They're telling their they're whining about their feelings.
Rappers are like more spicy.
Yeah.
Emos are just like, oh, you made me sad when you leave me. And then he's like, I'm sad too, but I still hate you. Like, that's literally, both of the songs are that. Just like, I thought you were my best friend. Versus today's topic, part of the topic, the Kendrick and Drake is definitely not you are my best friend and I hate you. It is definitely like Drake being like, you're short and I don't like you, and Kendrick being like, I'm gonna ruin your fucking life. Don't you fuck with me. I love it so much. And I think
so. I saw first, what was the third guy that was part of this?
J. Cole.
So he just apologized and got out right away. So he did, which I think is the funniest. That's what I would have done.
The memes from it are so funny because I'm so incredibly online. That's the whole reason why I started this podcast, is I was like, Mandy, I can't get off Twitter and I need to talk about this. Because here's the thing. Do you listen to Drake or Kendrick at all?
No.
Okay. I like Kendrick Lamar. Because I love lyrics. So I was like, I think he's an amazing songwriter. I mean, he won the fucking Pulitzer.
I know, that's why I listen to Taylor Swift. She
go.
writes all her songs.
Right. Well, Taylor Swift's a great songwriter too, but I'm the type of person where I won't listen to the song, but I'll read the lyrics. And I've done that with so many Taylor songs and so many Kendrick Lamar songs. Like, oh, so poetic. I don't listen to it, though. I'll just read it. But Drake has always given me the ick.
Same.
And I'm like, I need this man to go down.
I keep saying I'm never going to say I don't like a person's name on air, but... sorry, Drake.
Sorry, Drake.
I've never been a fan, and I think it goes back to a time where I got my wisdom teeth taken out, and I really didn't like Drake. And my boyfriend didn't come get me from the dentist because he got free tickets to a Drake concert.
Oh, this is personal.
So, talk about beef.
I just hate his eyebrows, but. Well, it's like there's this meme that I always
so funny.
There's this meme that goes around that says when the celebrity that you hated is getting shit on for no reason, or the celebrity you hated for no reason is getting shit on. That's me with Drake. It's just a thing where I think it started personally with the Millie Bobby Brown stuff.
What did he do to her?
Well, this is kind of what the feud is being fueled by, is that she was the star of Stranger Things, 13 years old, and many interviews she talked about how Drake is her best friend.
Is this where the pedophile shit started?
Yeah, but it was a lot more women than that. I did spend too mumuch time online this week.
I know, I told you I try to do my best.
No, you have a job.
I'm editing all day.
There's a big difference. But like, she would be like, oh, he texts me all the time about boys. He texts me. Yeah. And like, he has her number. I remember there was one where she invited him to a party as her guest. And it's like, And this is the weird thing about celebrity culture is that we put these people on pedestals because they're rich. But it's like, what does a 30-year-old man have anything to do with a 13-year-old girl?
Doesn't ask how old he is.
He was 30 when this whole thing happened. It doesn't matter. She's 13.
Ew.
Like, ew, right? And also this is blatant grooming. Like, and everyone's like, no, it's not. I'm like, grooming is not exactly like, I'm going to shape this person to become my wife. It is like, he's planting ideas into a very impressionable head, someone very, very young, giving him ideas of like, this is the type of boys you should be with. You should be hanging around me. And it's like, what do you have to... one thing, what do you have to talk about a 13-year-old about?
But why are you even friends? You shouldn't even be friends. I thought it was funny how Drake made a post denying having a daughter, and then everyone bashed him because he didn't deny being a pedophile. I was like... They're like, okay,
again,
so...
the ick. It is the ick of icks of all icks. But I love the internet now. I'm so glad this feud came out now because everyone's like, celebrity beef has been big in the rap scene forever. But I don't think we have been in a time like now. Like, imagine if all the beef from like 20 years ago, 10 years ago happened now. It'd be crazy. But also, it's a thing where you could tell that Drake had so many people who were skeptical of him as a person. And this rap beef wasn't like, hey, I don't like you and you fuck my girlfriend. It's like, hey man, you're a dangerous human. I'm gonna make sure everyone knows about it. And that's what's so crazy. And then you see the J. Cole memes of him just like on a swing drinking his fucking Capri Sun, like J. Cole enjoying his life because he knew not to fuck with Kendrick Lamar. And it's like,
oh, so the memes are in favor of J. Cole. I thought they were making fun of him.
I mean,
or maybe probably a mix.
It's like a little bit of a mix where it's like it's like in an anime where you go to an opponent that's way too powerful for you and you're like, I'm gonna back out now. I gotta come back when I'm stronger. Instead, he just didn't come back because he was like, there's no fucking way.
That is so mature. That is that little voice you have in your head when you grow up, when you get maturity, that says, yeah, just stop.
Yeah.
Just stop.
It's time to move on. Well, the funny thing too is that Drake is the type of person, from all the things that I've read in the last week, knew nothing about him. Now I know too much. It's like it was like that Jonah Hill thing again, that quote that I saw on Twitter where it's like, I hate the internet. I did not care about Jonah Hill and now I have too many opinions about him and it's been 2 hours. I hate what the internet has done to me. That's the same thing about Drake. Everything I've read about him, like, I never liked his music to begin with. It always sounds very overproduced. I call it grocery store music. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like it's like something you would listen to like in a...
It's radio.
It's a Forever 21 song. Like he has Forever 21 music in my head. And so it never appealed to me, but also him himself gave me the ick just because of like the Millie Bobby Brown stuff. And then there was other things about this other 17-year-old girl he took out to dinner in his 30s. It's like, buddy, what are you doing?
That's when it's creepy because also it's like the amount of girls you could get that are at least 18. You know,
which is still bad,
but legal.
But
that means they have something in their mind that wants the thing that's illegal.
Well, I'm glad that it kind of goes back to like the Me Too movement, where for so long people just never second guessed how celebrities were. Like they never were like, oh, it's fine that he's hanging. They're all famous. Like they all just kind of mesh together. But us as like women are like, no. That's not good.
Yeah.
You know, and same thing with like stealing other people's art or like, they just sampled it or, they were just using AI, which is another thing he got in trouble about. It's like, no, like you're not being your authentic self. You're not being an authentic artist, you know, and being called out for having ghostwriters and stuff like that, which is normal. That's fucking Tom Brady's roast, right? But it's like, it's the whole thing where I am now seeing someone who I always had an idea was not a good person being called out for it and getting the repercussions for it, and his response is just hilarious. Like I don't know, have you listened to all the songs?
I've only listened to clips of them.
Okay,
like parts.
The Not Like Us song is actually very catchy, which is why I love it so much.
Is that the Drake one or the
That's the Kendrick Lamar where he's like tried to struck a chord but probably A minor, and I'm like,
because they said there's one of the songs that's doing way better than the rest, so it's probably that one.
It was that one, and the picture of it is Drake's house with a bunch of the sex offender marks on it.
Oh my god!
Yeah, you can probably see it right here.
That's so funny. And so Drake is losing, and Drake is the one that asked for this.
Yeah, he's not J. Cole. He's not smart. Yeah. He didn't know to back off. J. Cole's probably because J. Cole doesn't hang out with 13-year-old girls. Yeah, you know, he acts like an adult man. Not a 13-year-old
The
girl.
13-year-old girls are rubbing off on him. Oh my God, that cover is really funny.
It is.
That's clever.
The thing is he didn't hold back. I think that's the best thing about this is like there's a lot of people that are like, you guys are signed under labels. You can't say a certain thing. You have to delete this. And Kendrick's like, not doing that. And even now people are saying that the music group that like it might have been I think it is UMG, the Universal Music Group, is telling him like, we need you to back off and apologize for calling him a pedophile. And he's like, no. And so it's like he can get in trouble for all this, but he doesn't care because it's like this is things that a lot of people in the industry knew for a while, and now it's all coming to light, and the internet is just eating it up because they love watching people get canceled.
Well, he's a Disney kid, right? What was the show he's on?
Degrassi.
He was a wheelchair character. Get canceled for that. Get canceled for pretending you had a disability because they got mad at the guy from Breaking Bad for doing that now. So let's get mad at Drake for that.
Well, it's also just the whole, I think it also started off with like how he was racially profiling himself because Kendrick Lamar like grew up in a very poor area, very low income. Like he started from basically the streets and then made himself successful versus Drake, who was a Disney character on a Disney show, but likes to identify as someone who is like that, which obviously is not something that I have any say in because I am not black or in the rap scene. But it's one of those things where it's like, it goes back to the cultural appropriation thing where it's like, don't just be authentically who you are.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, don't lie about who you are. And I think that's what's always struck a chord with him is that he never was authentic about who he was. And on top of being a pedophile.
But it is weird that so many people who start with Disney, like Disney has a really good eye for pedophiles.
Yeah, so does Nickelodeon.
Yeah, wow.
Have you, I mean, was it? It was Nickelodeon. Did you watch that?
I watched it. I stopped. It got really dark.
Yeah, it gets really icky very soon. God, being a woman is so exhausting.
Boys got it in that though,
I know,
too.
But like we just like, because we understand it on a different level, which is why like watching this all go down makes me feel so good. Because it's like, I'm finally seeing a man being held for his actions. But the funniest thing about all of the feud is how Drake has responded recently because first it was like, I don't have a daughter, and then he didn't address the pedophile thing, and instead of even clapping back, he releases like the Heart Part 6 song where you could tell that his writers or whoever helped him with it kind of just like let him do his thing, because it really becomes chaotic and really becomes like a cringy mess of like, he
grunked it.
Yeah, he was like, he literally says in the song, if I was a pedophile, I'd be in trouble. I'd be locked up right now. And it's
it was something about being I can't be a pedophile because of my status. It was something like saying because he is famous that he can't be a pedophile. And everyone's like, that is a famous rich person thing to do.
Yeah, but also the amount of people who have, like us, like we don't give a shit about either one of these people. Like I just love the drama. There's like all these like philosophers dissecting his lyrics. He goes, he still never denies it. He just says, there's no way I can be. That never just says, I'm not a pedophile.
So
like
weird.
So much. And then at the end of the song, he like does like this whole rambling about, it really comes off as like, again, It's Always Sunny, the episode where they do the pageant for the kids. And Frank's like, we should write a song that says, I don't diddle kids. I don't diddle kids. I don't diddle kids. I don't diddle kids. That's a surefire way to get people to think that you diddle kids. It's like,
yeah, it is.
And so, yeah, this episode's going to come out in 2 weeks, and you're like, I'm worried that this is not going to be, like, relevant, but it's like, I'm pretty sure this is going to be, like, this is one of those things, like our transition next topic, like how Kanye has drama with everyone. It's like, you don't forget things like this. Like, this was such a big beef of 2023 that people are going to discuss it for a while, because there's no way Drake isn't just going to come back and be 100% where he's at before this.
Well, you can still talk about Tupac and Biggie. That was the most white thing I've ever done in my life.
Tupac and Biggie.
Tupac and Biggie to this day, and it's still like people will talk.
Exactly, yeah. Like no one forgets about these things. So yeah, it will be relevant, especially if the memes keep coming out. I'll be sending people memes from like in 3 years from now. Like, Lisa, this thing died years ago. I'm like, yeah, but this J. Cole meme killed me.
But have you seen episode 12?
Have you seen what?
Episode 12 to your friends. This
episode. Episode 12. There you go. 3 years and be more beef coming out. And now everyone else is getting on it. It's crazy. But yeah, like Kanye is a big one for me because he seems to always piss off everyone.
I think it's funny that these two people had beef because the two people who always have beef is Kanye and Taylor Swift.
Well, Kanye is also someone who's always given me the ick because he's always been on like, and I really loved his music for a while and I had to stop listening to it because he's just like, I'm the voice of this generation. I'm really important. Everything about me is amazing. And it's like, buddy, chill. But yeah, like the Kanye and Taylor Swift thing, when she accepted her award and he goes on stage, he goes, I'm gonna let you finish. I'll never forget that. It was Beyonce should have won this award. And it's like, buddy, what are you doing? Like, this is a very, very young girl.
She was 19.
Yeah, she was very young and blew up overnight. Like, let her accept this. And you took that away from her. And so many people are like, oh my God, get over it. I'm like, no, that was so mean. And he knew better than that. But that's the thing is people still know about that to this day because it was so iconic when it happened. And I watched her documentary and how that affected her career after that. Like, clearly she's bounced back. But it did fuck shit up. Like, it wasn't just that night. And she released a diss track recently about it, which is even like, we were like, we should talk about the history of celebrity beef. We could just talk about the last 3 months for hours because of how much is happening. Because listen, post-pandemic, everyone's weird. Everyone's emotional. Now they're getting all their shit out. No one has any shame now. It's the best thing ever. She released a diss track on her newest album called Thank You, Amy, and capitalizes the K-I-M in it. Oh. Which shits on Kim Kardashian for basically silencing Taylor Swift about how Kanye has made her feel over the years, because Kanye like still would shit on her after time, and she even addresses like your husband in the song, and it's like, oh my God, damn, Taylor Swift in on it. Taylor Swift and like Kanye, yes, a completely unhinged person who continues to be unhinged. Like one of my favorite jokes from the Tom Brady host. Did you hear about the Kim Kardashian one? I forgot who said it, but they're like, Kim was very scared to do the roast today, not because she was going on stage, but because she had to leave her kids at home with their father. Yeah. Who said that? Wait, I watched the whole thing and I'm trying to remember who it was. Mike, do you remember who it was? I remember the joke so clearly. But who said it? It was just one of those things where it's like, maybe it was Tony Hinchcliffe. I feel like that could have been him. His roast. Maybe it was Kanye West. Him and Nikki Glazer. Oh, it was Tom Brady who said it. No way. Who wrote it? Oh, it was Tom Brady. Damn. Oh I like how he forgot the guy because he's so unrememberable as a speaker. I'm like, it had to have been Tony. Yeah, it had to be a real like comedian. No, it was Tom Brady, the most boring looking man. I'm so sorry. I'm roasting him now. I wonder who wrote it. It had to have been. It probably was one of our friends. Probably. That's what I want to know. It's so good. But yeah, it was one of those things where, you know, like Kanye has just always been kind of a mess of a person, but he's always been very outspoken of how messy he is. Like, you can just read his tweets and see how he presents himself. He's just messy. And you know what? Fuck it. Whatever. Be messy. But Taylor Swift is so subtle about it. I like that. Because she loves just like she's so like plain Jane, you know? Which I shouldn't say, because she's absolutely she's more classy. Yeah, she's drop dead gorgeous. She's just like, you know, if you Google white girl, like, you're gonna get Taylor Swift. If you keep scrolling to the bottom, I'm there. But yeah, right. There's Mandy at the very bottom. But she hides all of her messiness in her lyrics, and she's not subtle about it at all. And you have her fucking army of Swifties, of people who like worship her and study her every movement, which still fascinates me. I know we had a whole podcast episode of Swiftie. Every time I read about Swiftie, I'm like, we got to have a documentary about them. We have to have a Swiftie on our podcast. I don't know. That might be not safe. They'd be like, she has breathed the same air in this room. Like, because she's in LA. Oh my God. I'll just have my best friend on here. But no. And they like dissect her lyrics of like, oh my God, this specific thing is referencing this person. Like when she wrote songs about John Mayer and Jake Gyllenhaal. And as we've said before, anytime that she has like subtly kind of addressed like one of her ex-boyfriends, their careers always kind of take a hit. Like, she is so smart about being messy. I'm not. I'll just be like, fuck you. Like, I am so out in the open. I piss off so many people, and I'm very open about it. I will openly talk shit about people that I know other people know, just so they know how I feel about it.
I could never do that.
You're like,
I could never.
That's why you have me do all the confrontational stuff. Like, Lisa doesn't give a shit. She doesn't care.
I'm like, I will die.
If you'll know how I feel about you. But she, in her newest album, because it's like I said, her past albums I've never really cared about as much. Like, now that I'm like getting more involved with celebrity beef and drama and being online too much and not having a job, I like read all about her Tortured Poets album that came out. People were listening to it because it came out at midnight. All my stories are full of women crying in their bed. Do you have any crazy Swiftie friends?
No.
It was like, I would go through stories and be like, oh, someone did stand up. Oh, someone's crying in bed. Someone did stand up.
Really?
People are like, this song, oh my God, she references the Starting Line. Oh my God, she references a song by Spiderfield. Oh my God, she references Matty Healy, the guy from 1975. Shits on him in like 3 songs. She's she's very smart about her beef.
That takes a lot more work. Not only are you writing a song, but to have like to weave in things like drama, that's hard.
Imagine how famous when I get and how messy my audience is going to be, considering how messy I am now. Oh my God.
I'm going to have, my audience is going to be like, okay, bye.
Yeah, you're not as messy as me.
No confrontation.
That's why my comedy is so like clean and quirky, because outside of it, I'm not.
And then my comedy is just sex.
Which is... It always, so like, I know we're getting off track, but it always was so funny because I met you at obviously Jackie's little brunch thing. We have to shout out to Jackie for that. And then we started following each other, and I was watching your clips, and I was like, oh, she's like kind of a slut. I love her. And then we met up in person, and like, you're like so sweet and so clean and like in a relationship. And I'm like, oh, she's not who I thought she was at all.
It's Amy. Same with Amy Schumer, Nikki Glaser, everyone who they just stereotype from jokes is like the opposite of what you think. Like Nikki Glaser said that at the roast. She was like, you guys are going to call me a cum bucket, but I've been in a 10-year relationship.
Yeah, no, but it's not a bad thing to be a cum bucket, but you know, it's just one of those things where it's like, you're like, you know, you're kind of like Taylor Swift in a way, you know, like you're just, no, that's a good thing. Yeah.
I love that. Okay.
I thought you were about to be insulted.
No.
Being called the Taylor Swift of comedy. Here Mandy is.
Wow.
You're gonna have your army of Swifties.
We have to have our army of whoppers.
Yeah. The Mandys and the Weasels. That's what are going to be our little armies. But yeah, I love it. It's just like she just is like, I'm going to put it in my music. I'm just going to let everyone else just kind of figure it out for themselves, because she doesn't openly say, yes, this song was about Jake Gyllenhaal. The song was about blah, blah. She's like, no, you guys will figure that out.
Yeah, you figure it out.
And then she has to take zero responsibility for any of it. Because one of the best things I've learned being in comedy here is like when it comes to being competitive with someone or having beef or whatever, it's like you don't ever want to completely burn that bridge, because you never know. I would help out someone that I don't really like if they really needed it, or I saw an opportunity for them. Yeah. Because I know in the long run, I would feel better about it. Because even if that person like ends up hating me and shitting on me, in the back of their head, they're like, that girl did help me out that one time, and I feel like a fucking asshole for this. Right? Sure. But a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people are willing to burn those bridges, and then later on in life, they lose opportunities from it. And so being very smart without being open about it is... I want to be on that level. I need to stop being so intense.
I think it seems like most people, or the ones that we talk about, it's always musicians, because they have that outlet.
Yeah, they have like the lyrics, and which is a great transition into another one we had, which was Britney Spears. Yeah. Which even when I was a kid, she's always had weird feuds, which I don't even think were real. Because I remember when people used to compare her with
and Christina Aguilera.
Right? Was that ever real though?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the same. Yeah, I like how they said that Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera had a feud, but they weren't like NSYNC and Backstreet Boys hate each other. They're about to have a dance off.
Yeah, right? I actually love the feuds like that because I remember when I was like kid specifically, I would judge my friends if they were NSYNC fans or Backstreet Boys fans. I think it was Holly Brown that did your podcast and found out she was an NSYNC fan. I was like, oh,
I know. You were Backstreet as well?
DSP all
Me
the way.
too.
Nick
You heard on
Carter.
there.
God, I think it's I was just like, oh, that I have to erase that part of a Holly in my brain. I can't believe she was an NSYNC fan. When I was in 4th grade, I got asked to do a talent show where I had to dance to NSYNC, but I wanted to impress the group of girls, so I wanted girlfriends. So I really had to swallow my pride for that. And I remember apologizing to my sister for having to do that because she got mad at me. She's like, I cannot believe you're doing an NSYNC dance thing. I was like, I don't want to. But I need friends, okay? So I don't read about celebrity beef in 20 years and ruin my life.
And here we are. But that exact reason, like you talking to your sister, is why I think that Christina Aguilera and Britney Spears, my voice, was made up because they wanted these young kids to have this like strong feeling about one or the other.
Which, to transition to a different topic real quick, my old roommate and my tattoo artist, shout out to Amanda, she was on Ink Master. I forgot what season it was, and it was the worst time she ever had in her life because she cool. Well, I mean, she's very open about it because it really affected her mentally because imagine, for one thing, any sort of competition thing is like intense, like cooking, blah blah, but you're not affecting anyone body doing that. So being a tattoo artist in a very intense environment that's competitive, I can't imagine that's not scary, right? But she said that one of the reasons why she got taken off is because she wasn't dramatic enough. They wanted her to really up the beef. And that's the thing, is that's why people get obsessed with this, because they want to see drama. That's why we watch reality TV shows. I was
going to say, that's exactly why reality TV is huge.
Yeah. See, this is why it's like we can only talk about the things this year because now we have so much in our head.
I think we're almost at an hour, too.
Yeah, reality TV will be another one day. But like the Britney Spears one was big, too, because she was under the conservatorship. Like, she's never really had her voice, and that's why she's so unhinged online, because like I can't imagine that girl is mentally stable from how she's been treated since she was a kid. And then she released the memoir. And in the memoir, she's very open about her relationship with Justin Timberlake.
In sync.
Yeah, right? We know. Justin Timberlake was my Drake, literally growing up. I was like, this ramen-haired motherfucker is giving me such bad vibes, and I do not know why. 20 years later, my pettiness paid off. But no, she wrote in her memoir about how he like forced her to have an abortion and how he cheated on her. And then he came out with Cry Me a River, which was like a diss to Britney. And people were shit on Britney because of misogyny and how we treat women in general. And now everyone now is like, fuck you, JT. Like,
what did he say back to that? Did he write anything back to the memoir?
No, but I think he did respond. And that's the thing. I didn't research because I don't care about what he has to say, but there was so many clips of like him on podcasts and him like guest spotting like when he was younger and even till today, where he like addresses his relationship with Britney Spears and he like does not take responsibility for how he responded to it or how he treated her. And I'm glad that she came out with that years later. I'm glad she's like having a voice now because she's been very vocal about that. But then she keeps backtracking and apologize because she's like, I didn't want people to like shit on him. I was just
because she's a good person.
Yeah, because she's like, I was just speaking my story. And same thing with her relationship with her sister. It's just one of those things where it's like people like younger generations online, they're just wanting the memes, they're just wanting drama. Us who saw this shit happen years ago are seeing it now, and we're like, holy shit, so crazy.
It is weird. So Justin said, I'd like to take this opportunity to apologize to absolutely fucking nobody. He said, per footage shared via social media. Timberlake's statement came out after Spears, 42, you don't have to say her age, we know who she is, took to social media to discuss her bombshell book, The Woman in Me, which, that's what she said, which hit shelves this fall. I want to apologize for some of the things I wrote in my book, she wrote. If I offended any of the people I genuinely care about, I'm deeply sorry. And then he just wrote, I don't give a fuck.
Of course not. I mean, I can see why. Because, I mean, also what's crazy is that he did release like this new song, Selfish. It's like about her. And she's like, oh, I love it.
Oh, he I saw you wrote a new song. It is about her.
I think so. Okay, because there was like a big controversy about that.
See,
but
the music. It's the music feuds.
yeah. And here's the thing is like, I am on his side of like, I'm not going to apologize to anybody because this happened like 20 years ago. I was young. I was stupid. Like, I don't need to like, I don't need to take responsibility for something I did younger. When people get canceled for shit that they did younger, I'm like, yeah, they were young. They were dumb. I've done dumb shit. I still do dumb shit.
Yeah, when like Kevin Hart's tweet from 40 years ago, I'm not hosting anything.
I fell hiking yesterday. See, I still do stupid things all the time. But like, it's also the thing where it's like, buddy, I know you don't want to apologize because you're not responsible for what you did 20 years ago. But what you did 20 years ago really affected how people viewed her. It affected your career. And that's where I'm like, okay, so she's right. Right.
You could even just say like, I'm sorry you feel that way. Or like, if anything I may have done could have hurt you. But I guess his publicist was probably just like, stay out
He
of
could
it.
literally just be like, I was young and stupid. But because of how intense like people are about celebrity beef and wanting more drama, his publicist was just like, just don't apologize, like move on.
Because if he said anything, they would have been like, so he did it, so it is true.
But he could have just not said anything. That's the whole thing.
That's true.
But I think the internet now is just so like, I want to yell at people all the time and get into fights with people. I literally have a joke about how I haven't been in a relationship in so long, I just start petty fights with men just to feel something. Like, that's where I'm at right now with celebrity drama. Like, I'm going to fight somebody on the internet about Drake and Kendrick, and I don't even know who they are. You know what I mean?
Masturbating to the Enquirer.
Yeah, just fucking I'm getting off to all this drama I don't care about or not involved with.
Those are the top ones that I think of.
For this, but that's just from this year. Like,
recent this year.
Yeah, even Mike just wrote down, like, the Fleetwood Mac music drama, the whole Rumors album. Like, that was the original that was probably my parents.
They're
Kendrick and Drake. But that was all in band. That's even funnier. This is before the internet, too. That's what the whole album's called, Rumors. Nobody could fact check. Wait, hold on. Now I gotta watch this video. Okay, let's not get... We have like a close-up on the drummer. Silver Springs. Okay, see, here's where I come in. It's like, I have to read the lyrics.
Yeah,
you know, because I'm like, I have to read what she's wrote. Okay.
Time put a spell on you.
God, I love her.
There we go. Keep going.
Oh, we're not going to do all that.
That is hilarious.
Can't disrespect Stevie, but you see that eye contact. She's just staring him down.
Damn.
And there's your drummer. Yeah. But she's talking about haunting him. Time put a spell on you, but you can't...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's giving it to him.
This is not even, you know how there's like sexual like there's like a sexual tension between, they look like they want to murder each other.
Yeah, they really do. He looks scared.
He looks scared. She's like, I'm going to murder you after this.
She's coming towards him.
Oh my
Damn,
God.
She's saying, I'll follow you down to the ground till my voice still haunts you.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's good.
I want someone to say it to me in bed.
I'd
be like, what?
That's crazy.
Was I just a fool? Yeah. Oh, yeah, then you'll never get away from the sound of a woman who loves you.
Oh, my God.
She had some
Burbank
feelings.
in 1997. Jesus Christ. Spicy.
Yeah. I like it.
Spicy.
I like it. Yeah, it's way more fun to follow feuds on shit like that versus just like...
Also, I don't read books, so I like reading lyrics and poems. That's my books, because that doesn't feel like homework, you know?
Yeah.
This feels like I'm learning something about other people and their nature. This is another thing I just came up with, is like I don't think I'll ever be open publicly, like on stage, of like, if I have a big blowout with a comedian, I'm not going to go on stage and like say their name or blah blah blah.
You're not
right?
going to Chris Rock.
Because and that's usually, people do that because of lawsuit reasons. Well, Rebel Wilson just recently came out with, it was on Armchair Experts podcast. You ever listen to that?
No.
Oh, you should. It's Dax Shepard's podcast.
Okay.
He's real. I love him. And she talks about how she had an interaction with a celebrity for filming that made her feel very uncomfortable, like basically making her to do like weird sexual shit to do on camera and like pointing and laughing at her, kind of like a weird kind of very kinky type of bullying that made her incredibly uncomfortable, and everyone found out it was Sacha Baron Cohen.
Wow.
And his thing is that she never addressed the name because it's like, I don't want to be held responsible for this, because now like Drake is like, I want to sue blah 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 for you saying these things, because
Drake wants to sue now after he started it.
There's like a bunch of things.
Okay.
Yeah, where it's like people want, because it's like once you say someone's name, you're I can sue you for defamation. Thank you. Defamation for character. But then she did the review on Armchair Expert, and everyone just kind of like figured out that was Sacha Baron Cohen.
Wow.
And so again, this is why it's like, if I have issues with people, they know I'm personally, but I'm never going to address it in my stuff because I'm like, I don't want to get sued. I mean, I'll have a lot more money when that happens, but right now, do not sue me.
But she can't get sued since she didn't say the name.
She didn't say the name. Yeah.
So she's fine.
So people know. But isn't that crazy?
Ew.
There's so many. Everyone's fighting lately.
What's going
I love
on?
it. Yeah, I love it. This is why I can't get in a relationship. I'll just start fighting with everybody at this point. I don't have any comedian feuds I want to bring up yet, but Matt Rife might have one after today's episode. You know.
Why? You think he's going to be mad at us?
No, he's not listening.
We just said that
You should have
he
a
should do
reverse
crowd work.
Yeah.
I think it's a brilliant idea, and he should really do it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, the crowd that makes the money. Anyways, great episode today. It's interesting being a new studio.
Yeah, we're going to... We've got segments next episode. We're going to start adding in.
We have a new format. Today was just kind of like getting used to the studio.
Mm-hmm.
We had something, that very relevant to talk about, but future stuff, like, we have someone here to like help us with research and help us with production. We really want this to be more... That's the word right there. Just more, just a little more crispy.
Yes. So thanks to Mike. Get ready for some very exciting
We had a whole word
episodes
episode, and all we know is words like crispy and smoochy and tummy and belly. Like we just want this to be a very juicy podcast. So there we go. And yes, thank you so much.
Thank you for watching.